What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris, and today it is a painting tutorial for a Mando Pulse Blaster. So the process... Okay. Today's episode is all about painting an Amban phase Pulse Blaster. So the pieces you see here are 3D prints from an Etsy store called Phelan's 3D Creations. So I had my good buddy Jakey of JTS Cosplays print all the pieces out. If you have seen previous videos where I have done up 3D prints, you know the process of getting to this stage. It's essentially a matter of primer filling, sanding, primer filling, sanding. So we did use some spray putty, and then I went ahead and used a flat grey primer to prime all of the pieces. So as you see, we've got the butt of the gun, the main body, we've got the barrel, the tip, the scope, everything is ready to go. So the first step is painting all the proper segments and certain pieces that have to be put together permanently and other pieces that we can wait until the end to put together. So for that, we have a mixture of a flat grey from Rust-Oleum, we have a super chrome from White Knight, and we also have a Duramax Gold. Now before we go any further, I just want to give a massive shout out to the awesome crew over at Topps who have been very busy yet again. Not only have they had the smash hit Marvel Collect by Topps, but they also have the Star Wars Card Trader app. Much like their Marvel Collect app, Star Wars Card Trader allows you to collect some of your favorite characters, trade with fellow rebels from all over the globe, as well as some exclusive perks. You get new digital collectibles available every day. You can claim free daily bonus packs, digital collectibles, claim free currency to increase pack opening power. Say that 20 times. And not to mention, you can follow, trade, and collect with fans all around the world. So that means you can follow me on the username Cosplay Chris. Now, this being a Mando themed build today, it would only be fair that I gather up some Mando cards, as you can see right here, including a few of the child. They're just too damn adorable. So head on over to the App Store now and give the Star Wars Card Trader app by Topps a crack. Again, a massive thank you to the awesome crew at Topps for sponsoring this video. And that being said, let's get on with today's build. So like I said, the first steps are we have to do the base spray. So we've got the matte black, we have the chrome and the gold. Now for the butt of the gun, that is actually all going to be done by hand because I have updated my method of creating a wood grain by hand without actually using wood. Now for that, I'm going to be using some student acrylics. We have a burnt sienna and a white. So we're going to start with a light color. So we're going to be adding the white to the burnt sienna, and then we're going to go ahead and use the full burnt sienna and essentially in a way dry brush the wood grain over the butt of the gun. So of course we have our dry brushing elements and little pieces here and there that have to be done by hand. We're also going to be doing some scorching marks on the tip of the barrel here, like as if extreme heat has scorched the metal. Much like in the vein of Kylo Ren's lightsaber, where you see the exhaust pipes that have been severely burnt with purples, blues, pinks, stuff like that. That is going to be done by hand as well. So what I love about this application is you don't have to worry about having an airbrush or high-end paints. You can use basic stuff, basic cheap stuff, and make it look $1 trillion. So that being said, let's get started on applying our base colors to all of these pieces. Okay, so all the pieces have pretty much dried. So the next step is we're going to hand paint some pieces on the barrel of the blaster. So I've gone ahead and masked off the areas that I want to paint. Now I did use a Delicate Surfaces masking tape. This is Delicate Surfaces by Baird. This is some of the best stuff I've used. It's great for hobby stuff because that way you're not going to run the risk of peeling this stuff off and having the black paint peel off with it if it is an aggressively strong tape. So what we're aiming for is we've got these two pieces here that are going to be silver and the scope holster is gold. So usually we would spray these, but sometimes the spray can take a little bit longer when you build it up on other spray paint. So I'm going to be using Vase of Paint. So we've got the Model Masters Chrome Silver and the gold here. And we're just going to apply them with a fine brush like so. Okay, next up we're going to do some good old-fashioned dry brushing over the main body of the rifle itself. So we're going to be reusing the silver chrome from Model Masters and a pretty wide brush, and get as little as possible as you can on the tips of the bristles, and then just work your way over the body like so. After that, I'm then going to go back in with the same gold that I use on the scope housing for these wires here and also this piece here, and then use the silver for the bolts around the body like so. Alright, Geeks and Geekettes, I'm very happy with where we're at so far. So after doing some extra dry brushing around these components here, just on the edges, it's time to go in for some extra weathering, some soiling of this piece. And for that, we're going to be using some ebony colored Rub and Buff. Rub and Buff is absolutely amazing. I love this stuff when it comes to weathering. So if you look at this pristine scope here, it is not going to be pristine for much longer. So usually with Rub and Buff, you leave it on and then you buff off the excess, but in this case, we're going to apply it and wipe it straight off, because I don't want it exactly fully staining all the pieces, and I'm not going to be going all out on the tip of the barrel here. It's more or less just in the crevices for this piece in particular. Once that step is done, we're going to start the metal discoloration on this piece here. So that means we're going to be applying some purples, some pinks, and some blues, all by hand. And I'll show you guys how to do that in the next step. But for now, let's rub and buff. Okay, so it's time to do the metal scorching on the tip of the barrel here. So we're going to start off with a purple pearl from Model Masters. So we're going to be doing this all by hand. So the base coat is going to be the purple pearl all the way around the perimeter here on both sides. Now, as you can see already, the way the light hits it, we're already on the right track. So just a little bit touch and go, and then dabbing away the excess with a paper towel or even your finger like so. Alright, Geeks and Geekettes, I've come up with the perfect method to achieve that nice blue scorch around the inside here. So this is a turquoise tint from Barnes. This is actually meant for resin, but if you just get the slightest little bit on a brush, it gives you that perfect scorching look with the blue, and I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to continue this all the way down on both sides, and then we can call it a day on this portion of the rifle. And voila, Geeks and Geekettes, very happy with how the light is hitting it right now on both sides. So again, you don't need an airbrush to achieve metal scorching effects. It can all be done by hand with the right paint brushes and the right paints slash, well, I guess tints. All right, Geeks and Geekettes, here is the butt of the rifle slash blaster finished. So I don't know what happened. I think I was already recording and then I've hit stop thinking that I was hitting record. And I did not show the full process. So this is the only bit of footage that I have of completing the butt of the piece itself. So we did lay down our burnt umber initially at the beginning of the video. I then went in with some raw umber, which was a lot darker, on this exact brush, and just essentially dry brushed it across the piece like so. And that is how we achieved the final wood grain look. So I do apologize that I did not manage to get that footage, but you saw that little skerrick there, and it's pretty straightforward. As you can see, it's just got a nice artificial wood grain there. So that is the perfect effect that I was going for. Now that this stage is complete, it means that all the pieces are fully done, painted, weathered, done and dusted. So that being said, let's piece it together with some multiple aluminium poles and some glue. And then we can call it a day, geeks and geekettes. There we have it, guys. After a cheeky little paint tutorial, our Amban Phase Pulse Blaster is complete. This thing is massive. I can't even frame it properly. That's how big it is. So hang on, if I put it down on the ground very carefully, I'm 175 centimeters and it just comes up to my nose here. So this thing is a beast, but I love it. I'm very happy with the end result. And again, you don't need an airbrush to achieve techniques like this and high-end paints. It can be stuff that can be found at either your local Bunnings, hardware shop, Home Depot, anywhere. So this will be an awesome addition to my Mando cosplay that I am planning. Not the full traditional Mando cosplay, but something a little bit different, if you guys remember in my cosplay announcement video. A massive thank you to Topps for sponsoring this video. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much again for watching. Wherever you are in the world, have yourselves an absolute cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.